So in this video, I'm going to be going over what I have planned for doing stuff over the winter, future plans, and basically just a channel update. I'm not going to be putting out videos as frequent as I used to. I mean, not that I would put out a lot of videos to begin with, probably once a month at most, but it's a little messy, but this is my home, and it's a work in progress. I still have carpets to put down, some door trim, corner trim, little stuff, but the biggest thing that I have to do is put the furnace in, and it's very, very expensive and it's time consuming, but that's not really what this video is about. So what I got here is some stuff for the Yaris. This is what's left of a Prius intake manifold. I've started hacking off the bits that I don't need. Cheap Sawzall blades don't work very well. This is a low-grade aluminum, so it clogs up the teeth and it refuses to cut. I'm kind of concerned that this ain't gonna weld up properly to this, but hopefully I'll get this under the hood of the Yaris pretty soon. This will give me a few horsepower. This is the intake manifold off of an old Corolla with a 1ZZFE engine. Same engine that this throttle body comes off of. I pulled this off the Yaris for fuel efficiency. Gas prices are going through the roof, and I'd rather sacrifice horsepower for MPG at the moment. This is all kinds of wires. I've already cut them to length, this red stuff. I have a couple black wires too that are cut to length. I'm going to do the Big 3 upgrade, probably completely unnecessary, but I plan on putting a power inverter in the car and a subwoofer in the future. Basically, I'm going to be upgrading the positive wire from the alternator all the way to the battery, and then the battery ground to the chassis, and then the engine to chassis ground. So that's 3 wires to upgrade. And it will increase your charging capacity and overall amperage output to the entire car. It's a lot easier on the alternator, and I have an AGM battery that's almost 700 cold cranking amps. But back to this, I have to cut this little piece off here, clean this up so it's nice and flat, and then weld it onto here. That way this will bolt up to the Yaris. And then my next problem is I gotta bore this out a little bit and make an adapter plate, because this is the 3-stud design, and this is a 4-stud. See the problem? So I'll have to make an adapter. Oh, just got a metal splinter. Ow. Son of a bitch. Okay. So that'll give me a little more horsepower. Alright, what next? This is the Beast. I've got it all torn apart. This is in some of my earlier videos a few years ago. It's an Asus P5K Deluxe. It's considered ancient in the computer world, but it does everything that I ask it to do. It's my first computer that I ever built. Took me a few years to build it and get it to where it is now. Got 8 gigs of DDR2, 1066 megahertz RAM. Timings adjusted to 55515. Western Digital Black 1 terabyte. Got a nice Sound Blaster card here. Asus DVD drive I found at Goodwill. EVGA 850. Modular power supply. This thing's a beast. GTX 1050 Ti for the win edition. Got some nice see-through fans that came with this old acrylic case. Picked the case up at a yard sale for like $5. The most expensive parts on this was the RAM. I had to buy these separately, 2 different kits, and they were $100 a piece. It's nuts. And the CPU was like $50. It's a Core 2 Quad Q9650. I have it overclocked to 3.6 gigahertz. It's been overclocked like that for 2 years. Put up with strenuous gaming. Still going like a champ. And over here is the 12 volt modded Xbox 360. That was in another video. And down here is my newest edition. It's a homebrewed hacked Wii with a 250 gig solid state drive right there. That's really fun. I love that. That's by far my favorite console right now, is the hacked Wii, because it can do so much. Okay, so what else? Pause the video here for a second. This is my project truck. Right now it's a holder for other projects. This is a bike carrier for like kids or a dog. I plan on getting rid of all the cloth and welding on some metal grates from like a grill or something, and I'll make that attached to my scooter. I can go get groceries or whatever when I don't feel like driving the car. But this is my 99 Frontier. Hopefully I'll be doing some work on this over the summer. It was given to me. It's quite rough. The only thing holding it together is the cab. The frame from like there to there is just gone. It runs and drives. It's got no brakes, but it goes. It runs, no check engine light. It's a 5-speed, so that's nice. I'll get to learn how to drive a stick. I've always wanted to drive a manual. Then over here is the Briggs flathead that I built. It's a 6.5 horse Briggs lawnmower engine that I rebuilt in previous videos. The head has been milled for more compression. Runs great on 93 octane. This thing will pop wheelies in 5th gear, and it's been slightly pulley swapped. Put an electric start on it. You see the teeth on the flywheel. That was $35 on eBay, and then my buddy had this starter kicking around. We have yet to hook it up, but it does start the engine. We just hooked a battery to it real quick. All the wiring is hooked up to it. I would start it, but somehow a shit ton of water got in the gas, and I had just put this fuel line on and cleaned the carb like a month ago. I don't know if it's condensation or what, because I had that tote over it. But this is our little workhorse. We call it the puller, because it did the landscaping around this place. This right here was all trees, and we cut it all down and then used a grader, which is over there. I'll show you that in a minute, and flattened it out. We're gonna put these 4-wheeler tires right on the back and get some snowblower tires for the front and put like a plow on it or something. That motor's got some cojones. It's been ported, polished. I shaved the eyebrows between the valves, and the head has been milled for more compression. So since I shaved the eyebrows, it still has all the flow that it needs. Since it's a flathead, you can't increase its compression without reducing flow. It's counterproductive. So you gotta improve the spacing between the valves and the piston, so you'll still have the flow. the intake valve is here, and the air to fuel mixture will go this way to the piston. Spark plug will ignite it, and then it has to go this way to the exhaust valve. So that thing's a little beast. Of course, I had to take a little drill bit to the carburetor jet because it was running too lean. Drilled it out a couple sizes and it works great. I even bored out the muffler a little. So here's the scooter. I went for a ride last month and I got what I thought was good footage. I had my phone right here in this pocket. Usually I have it over here, but I decided to put it over here. And, well, the footage wasn't so great. I mainly just got my hand and the ditch. It was facing this way. So I'm sitting on the scooter and all you could see was my hand doing the throttle. So that was disappointing. So I parked it after my ride, had some lunch, went to go for another ride, and it made a loud snap sound in the clutch area, and then it stalled out. The clutch exploded again. So I have plans to just ditch the whole clutch system. I'm tired of it. I've gone through 4 clutches so far. 2 of them have exploded. I guess I'm putting too much power to it. I'm gonna drop the jet size a little bit because it is running a little rich. I'm gonna drop it down a little bit. But I plan on taking a blown pit bike engine. There's no piston or jug on it. I'm gonna remove the connecting rod and block off where the jug would go, and I'm going to use it as a transmission. I'll move the motor like right here or something. I'll have to flip it and I'll run a chain down. I'll have the transmission here, and where the flywheel is, I'm going to remove the flywheel off the transmission because it's a transmission engine combo. I'm going to put a sprocket on it, and then the sprocket coming off the transmission will go back to the back tire. And I'll have a 4-speed transmission with a Huisheng 49cc. That'll be a first. And I may even slap a turbo on it for shits and giggles. Because why not? Parts for that are super cheap. It has a ridiculously low compression ratio, so it's just begging for boost. Connecting rods are only like $5, and a crank is $25, so why not? So this is the basement that me and my buddy are working on. This was a very old house that his dad built. And right now it's a mess because, well, it's storage and a work zone. We've got insulation everywhere. R30 in the walls. It's a half basement. That's how I get heat upstairs. The leftovers of what's left of a portable air conditioner I found on the side of the road. There's the wood stove. But right now we're trying to get the furnace hooked in. There's the furnace. There's our plumbing system. But we're going to turn this into a big workshop. My buddy's got that lathe. We got a workbench here. We're going to have more workbenches along here. He has a milling CNC machine. 3D printers. You got to check out his channel. It's Insanity Works. Sadly, he gets buried by Insanity Workout. So just type in Insanity Works and you'll find him. He doesn't have as many videos as I do, because we've been working on this house nonstop for the past couple years. But once it's done, we'll have a lot more time to make crazy shit. But that's going to be all for this video. Sorry, the channel's going to slow down for the winter. I don't have internet down here yet. So I'll have to go to a place with Wi-Fi and upload this somewhere. It's a work in progress, but once this place is done, I'm going to start working on stuff and get some more content on the channel. Alrighty, be safe out there, everybody, and stay safe, stay healthy.